Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, want me to pay at the cashier? No problem. Carry-on bag is too big? I'll just wear my clothes then. Security guard not at post. Told to cover and write a report. Okay. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Want me to pay at the cashier? No problem. I live with my boyfriend who owns a coffee shop. People tend to scramble few 10C or 20C coins to pay for the coffee, so we always have plenty of them laying around. I usually use them to pay for the groceries. I usually go to the same store because they have self-service checkouts, so the cashiers don't have to count the ton of coins I would pay with. I always go about 1 hour before the closing time, because of work, take a shopping cart, pick up €50 to €100 worth of groceries and pay at the self-service. I never was an issue until recently. I was told that I can't bring the shopping cart to the self-service area. I explained I was planning to pay with coins and it would take ages for a cashier to count it, and personally I didn't mind going to the cashier. They said that it doesn't matter because there isn't enough space in self-checkout area for a shopping cart. T, you could fit at least 4 of those carts beside each other, and somehow people with prams and buggies were allowed even if they were taking much space. I said whatever and took my cart to the cashier. Shop was closing in about 15 minutes. My total was around €100, so I handed her few money bags with my 10C and 20C coins. They were mixed up and not pre-counted. The cashier tried to send me back to the self-service area. I simply replied that it was somehow a store policy and I'm not allowed over there, so unfortunately she will have to count all those coins. I calmly added that I'm in no rush, so she can take her time and thank her colleagues if she wants to. I left the store 20 minutes past the closing time. If I was using the self-service, I would have taken me 5 minutes. Carry-on bag is too big? I'll just wear my clothes then. Another post on here reminded me of this story from several years ago when I was a student and backpacking across Europe. I was flying with a budget airline with carry-on only. I had one small suitcase that was within the maximum size requirements and a small purse. As I got in line to board, an employee pulled me out of the line to ask me to put the suitcase in their metal sizer. The suitcase was pretty full and bulging a bit, so even though it was the right size, it didn't go into the sizer easily, and the employee stopped me from pushing the suitcase in, saying it needed to fit into the sizer without using any force. She tried to get me to check my bag for €60, which was a lot of money for me at the time. Instead, I opened my suitcase in front of her and proceeded to start putting on several items of clothing. I was already wearing a sweater and ended up putting on a t-shirt, a long sleeve, another sweater, and a cardigan. Closed my suitcase and it suddenly fit into the sizer, without force. She begrudgingly let me board while wearing my 5 tops. As soon as they scanned my ticket and checked my ID, I pulled over to the side, opened my suitcase, took off all the extra layers, put them back in my suitcase, and continued down the runway to the plane, all within view of the employee that tried to get me to check my bag. Edit: some people are saying that since my bag didn't fit into the sizer, it wasn't within the size requirements and I should have paid to check it. As I mentioned in a comment, my bag was full but not overstuffed. I probably could have taken out just one sweater and been fine, but I wanted to make a point and be 100% sure the bag would fit into the sizer, without force. If I had been allowed to gently push it in, it would have fit into their sizer. On the same trip, I flew on other airlines that had the same max size requirements and was able to fit this same suitcase packed similarly into their sizers without issue. My suitcase, with the extra clothes packed back in, also fit into the overhead bin easily once I was on the plane. The airline in my post is notorious for trying to charge you for every little thing while providing the worst possible service. Security guard not at post. Told to cover and write a report. Okay. A few years back I worked as a field supervisor for a security company. I drove patrol at night and had several accounts that I was required to check on and write a report for each night. In addition to this, I would check on standing guards at their assigned properties to make sure they were okay, not sleeping, and provide anything they might need. I was given a workload that was nearly impossible to keep up with each night and was always in a hurry. To deal with this, I would call a guard as I approached a property that was standing and have them meet me at an assigned location on property. There was one guard who always seemed to take forever to show up for the meeting. Usually, I had to wait up to 30 minutes for the guard to arrive. He always explained that he was busy when I called him. I noted this in my patrol reports to management to explain why I spent half an hour at a property I was not monitoring. I never received any feedback on this. So, I began showing up at this property unannounced and would search for the guard to see what he was doing. After several times of not finding the guard on property and always finding the property in almost chaos, nothing locked up, huge pool parties after hours, cars lining the fire lanes, etc., I had a meeting with management to explain the situation. The manager was upset that I would even suggest that the guard was not there. I was told that if I found something that needed to be addressed when I arrived, then just take care of it myself and write a report for the property. The next night I arrived and as usual could not find the guard. I conducted a full patrol of the property, shut down the usual pool party, locked all the facilities and tagged the fire lane violations. I then wrote a report explaining the problems encountered and why I was handling them. I did this every night for a week. The security company lost the account plus 5 others that were managed by the same property management. Subsequently, I was fired for doing the job I was told to do. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.